Four Horsemen Publications is back at Indy PopCon with 14 incredible authors and more books than ever before. Meet and get books signed by Erica Lance, Valerie Willis, J.M. Paquette, Eric Deckers, Rick Hines, Morgan Moreau and Katie Jenkins, Nick Smith, P.C. Nottingham, Andy T. Hansen, Chelsea Burton Dunn, and K.N. Fitzwater. Catch them all at the Four Horsemen booth at Indy PopCon. PopCon Indy runs June 25th through the 29th, 2025 at the Indianapolis Convention Center. Get more information and order tickets at popcon.us/popcon-indy or click the link in this episode's show notes. Imagine walking into your boss's office and giving notice because your writing has become your primary revenue stream, or your podcast is successful enough that you can quit your day job, or maybe having your marketing on autopilot so you can spend your time on the art career you love rather than on marketing. Are you a creative person who's great at what you do, but marketing makes you freeze? You're not alone. I help passionate, purpose-driven creatives overcome fear, find their brand voice, and build a marketing strategy that works for them. Oh yeah, I also make it easy and painless. It's never too late to grow the business you've been dreaming about. Book an introductory call with me, Rob Southgate, at southgatesmallbusiness.com today. And let's take the pain out of marketing together. Welcome to Ink Blots, the show where I interview authors about their lives, writing, and the books they love. Be sure to follow the Ink Blots podcast on Substack. Not only can you listen to the latest episodes, but our Substack also has interview transcriptions and links to books and other items that we talk about on the show. If you like what we're doing, please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on YouTube. It really helps us and our sponsors out. Oh, and leave comments. We really do read and respond to every one. Now, let's get on with the show. Welcome to Ink Blots. I am Rob Southgate, and today I have a duo. I should have set this up differently so I was in the middle between the two of you. That would have been so much more fun. But I have a duo with me. I have Morgan Moreau and Kate Jenkins. They are a writing duo from Four Horsemen Publications, and not only having on because they're awesome and their book series is awesome, but they're also going to be appearing at PopCon Indy at the end of June 2025. Got to give the year, because if somebody's listening 2 years from now, they're going to be like, why aren't they here? So, Morgan, Katie, welcome to Ink Blots.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's get your background. Let's kind of find out who you are and how you got here, and we're going to do you individually. So, Morgan, since you're just to my screen, you're on my left. You're on my right. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm in the middle on my screen. So.
You're in the middle.
Yep.
So you're in the middle. Let's start with you. What got you to this point? How'd you become a writer? Give us a little background about you.
So I've always liked to write. I think the first time I remember having something published, I was in 4th grade, and it was a poem about having to eat turnip greens.
Wait, I want to know, did you like them or did you not like them?
I like them, but my character in the poem didn't like them. So.
Okay.
But no, that's one of my favorite foods. But I've always been a really big reader. I've always been a really big writer. And so about 2000, I somehow stumbled across RPG games online where you write collaboratively with other people. I met Kate in a pirate game, actually, and we started writing together. And, 25 years later, we're still writing. And then I think this is a pretty common story. I was really bored during the COVID lockdowns. And I was like, I'm going to put together this story that we used to write together into a book. And that was the very first draft of The Fractured City. And from there, we have now written 8 books together, 9,
Wow.
something like that. So,
9.
Yeah.
So the book series is Legends of
9 almost done.
9 almost done. Okay. So it's going to be 9 books at its complete.
For now.
Well, at the all right. So this
Because I see 5 here. Pre-order number 5 is coming out December 3rd, but there are 4 more locked and loaded.
Well, okay. So we've got this series is Legend of Corellia series. That's Fractured City, Coming Rebellion, Hope and Ashes, Mark Queen. with book 5 coming out on December 6th. And then we've got the second series, our other series, which is a Visetra series, Choice of a Duchess, Heart of a Duchess, Resolve of a Duchess.
And that's sort of a loosely related spin-off series, which takes place 30 years before the Legends of Corellia series begins.
Yep.
I love it. Okay. Before we get away from this, I'm going to ask one more thing about this. Is book 5, Restorations and Ruin, is that the end of that series? No?
We're working on the 6th one, and we're probably 30,000 words away from being done there. And it's very bittersweet, and I got really upset about it yesterday.
So
I've been very upset about it. Like, one of the characters is not speaking to me because he would very much like to not end the book series right now, so that
6 will be the end of the series, technically.
For now, technically.
It'll be the end of season 1, as Morgan likes to call it.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, my family, we did a LARP, and we did 4 chapters, and the 4th chapter was the end. Very sad, very hard, but then they went, yeah, we have an idea. And they went back and they did like a prequel series, which was really interesting. My character could have been there. I was the only one that and then we were just talking with them, and they're like, we might do a sequel to the other one. So there might be, so yeah, it doesn't end, right?
Right.
We're discussing a plot for another series following the same guys from Legend of Corellia. I don't know how many years in the future yet. Just for fun, I'm saying 5, because by 5, Colette has got to be tired of everybody. And one of my characters is going to make it so that she can't do the one thing she really wants to do.
Oh no! Well, is that the plan? Do you let her maybe do the one thing?
Well, time? So this isn't spoilery if you like. Just I don't
want spoilers.
But essentially, she starts off as queen in book 1, and she gets overthrown, and that's the premise of the whole series: is her trying to regain that. And she vocally doesn't want to do it because she'd rather spend her life in a different way, but she feels obligated. Okay. And so, the point of this series is to get her back on the throne, and if she can accomplish that, then she's now stuck in a situation where she doesn't want to be again. So
it's Morgan's made it very clear as she writes Colette that Colette does not actually want to be queen. She has to be queen.
Obligation that she's unhappy about, but it might be an internal obligation. I get it. Okay. Kate, you didn't get off the hook. I want to hear how you ended up here.
Okay. I've always written. I think I started writing in like 3rd grade when our teachers got bored of us being annoying children and said, go write stuff. That's literally what she did. She put pens and papers and said, I'll fail you for the day if you don't write something fun.
Oh.
So I started. She was tired of us. My
I like that teaching method though.
But so I've been writing for a very long time, and I've always, like, the first book my mom ever read to me that I remember, I was like 2, and it was The Hobbit.
Okay.
So always been an avid reader. I love to write. My first published work was a very dark piece when I was in high school that was very much like The Telltale Heart, because we were told write something like that, and I did, and it was a little darker than I anticipated.
The Telltale Turnip, is that what it was?
No, it was based off the Telltale Heart, and yeah, it got a little dark, and I remember my teacher going, I feel sorry for whoever your husband is if he ever pisses you off.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and like Morgan said, we met in about 2000, and it was a pirate game.
So what game was it that you guys were playing?
It was like writing? Well, there used to be it was e-groups at the time, and then it changed to Yahoo groups, but people just got together and they created RPG games where they, free-formed whatever they wanted around whatever the central plot was. And so in our pirate game, we had a fictional town somewhere in Jamaica, and we had a high-ranking member of the French court get kidnapped. And so the idea was, hey, you've got to go and rescue this person, and so, yeah. And we're going to turn it into a book at some point.
Yeah.
So this was text-based RPG?
Yes.
God, I love it.
With that
email.
Without dice, where you just winged it and hoped.
Yeah, it's God, I love it. I don't know how I wasn't into that. Now that you're saying, like, I didn't even know that was I was a huge text-based RPG. Love it.
A lot of it has moved to like forums and on Discord now, I think, but there's still Google groups and groups.io that host some of these things, and it's a lot of fun. I still do it.
There is an entire there was a group that was on Tumblr, and then that got toxic. They moved to X. We all know what happened to X.
I think that got toxic. Am I guessing right?
Just
a little bit. Yeah.
But there's a huge community now on Blue Sky that's having a really good time with it.
Oh. If you know the name of the community or that people can find it, I can put that in the show notes, because if it's anybody like me that's listening, they're going to go, yeah, I got to go look that up. I got to go hang out in that area, because it sounds cool.
Pick a fandom and then just type in like SWRP. So for like Star Wars RP, you can normally find it.
Got it. I will look it up. Let's see what happens. So for you guys, these books, obviously, we're playing in a fantasy setting of sorts. Kind of actiony, romanticy. Am I guessing right on this?
Yeah, the Visetra series leans more romanticy, whereas the Legends of Corellia series has romance in it, but it's more character driven and focused on politics and action and those sorts of things.
Right. Yeah, when I say fantasy, I guess I'm using the wrong term, because it's not like we've got dragons. It's more, I'm thinking more like the setting, the age, that kind of. I don't know. It reeks of it to me, and it is awesome. Every time I see your covers, I think I got to sit down and read these. So that's a good thing, right?
Yes.
So, okay, let's do that. Let's go with, I hate when people say it's the elevator pitch, but let's give the pitch for Legends of Corellia.
Right,
Lay it out there. How do you, what do you say when somebody says, what do you write?
Okay, so for the Legends of Corellia, it's a character-driven fantasy with political intrigue and a romantic subplot about a queen who wants to do everything she can to make her kingdom better, and the nobles who will do anything they can to stop her.
And mermaids.
And mermaids.
And mermaids.
Possibly shifters and elves, I still don't quite have a elevator pitch for this one yet, because some of our readers have already been throwing me other things. Like every time I've made a video, I get told I'm wrong. So it's about a duchess who
and her himbo elf that does stupid things on repeat.
that it is about a duchess who basically needs to pick who gets to rule her kingdom. One of them is a really good guy, one of them may not be. They really would love her to get married. Because of that, she has to hire a bodyguard who's stupid. I used to put stupid sometimes. I've been corrected by our readers that it is stupid all the time.
24 hours a day.
And the question is, will she save her kingdom? And will they fall in love? Because he's that stupid.
All right. You know what? That was a good description. I think you could go with that and really hit the stupid, and you've got people excited. Well, I was going to say it's about a duchess who has a choice. There you go. Bam. Yeah. Elevator. I'm out the elevator.
It is. It is definitely about choice. We have a lot of really fun lines in it. Despite the fact that he is the biggest himbo, everybody seems to like Farron. Of course, Sabine is the favorite character because Morgan wrote her, so she's the best. And I've been told I have to point out that she is sassy, she is intelligent, she is pretty, and she takes no shit.
So, Morgan, you write these characters based loosely on yourself, I'm assuming. Is there, yeah.
No, Morgan is never sassy.
No.
Morgan is always sweet. Morgan never has a mean word to say about anybody, and she never, ever backtalks. Ever.
See, Morgan? I was, making a joke, but in reality, you are Ariel.
She is, actually. She is. Look at the hair. There's even a video on her TikTok right now that proves it.
You know what? I know because I saw it. I saw it when my daughter, she's a professional actress and she's a writer. When she was in her first bigger professional production, there was who had played Ariel at Disney. And the one day they did a photo shoot where they brought the real mermaid tail. She brought her Ariel outfit. They laid out, and oh my God, it was a life-changing moment. So yes, I have a mermaid that lives in Hull.
That's awesome.
It's a horror writing mermaid, so it gets dark.
Hey, sometimes mermaids need to eat people.
The mermaids in our story are like they randomly get kidnapped and maimed because their scales are considered useful for things like jewelry. So it's not light.
That is such an RPG type of thought too. From the games I've played, I've played games where we kind of figured things out. Like, wait, this must be commerce. As soon as you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, that would be something we would have said. Like, well, these scales have to be worth something. We have to make something out of this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that. So
That
were
is
you
a
guys
big plot point in these too. So
were you guys I think I asked this before, but I didn't ask it the right way, so I'm going to try it again. Anything old could be new again, right? Were you writers playing in that world, or were you RPGers who went, oh wow, I could use my writing in here?
Oh,
I know it's a weird question, but it was what I was trying to ask before.
originally, I think we were just doing it to have fun. Like we were just RPing and text based, and as it went, because we are writers at heart, it turned into I can do my writing with this. We can just go.
Okay.
I think that's true. I joined RPGs looking to join a fandom of people. Like I discovered it because I read a book I really liked, and I was like, I want to talk to other people about this book. And then through that, I found RPGs, and I was like, oh, I want to be in this world and RP. But then, when you start creating your own things, then you're like, well, this is really appealing more to my writer side. So I think it's been a bit of both for me.
Perfect. Was there a point where you knew, okay, this is the point, I'm a writer?
I think around 2010, I said something to the effect of, I think we could take these stories and actually make them into something, because we've got all of this, not just plot, but this world building and these defined things that we'd established. And I felt like we could do a lot more with it to really expand the world. But in some ways, I think I've always been sort of a writer. Like I always knew that I enjoyed that.
Yeah, but I was looking for that point, that threshold point. It sounds like 2010 was it for you. What about you, Kate?
Okay, so Morgan, the first time Morgan actually said, hey, maybe we could turn something into a book was actually in about 2003. And I only know that because I have a email where she's like, this, and it's one thing that I don't even remember what it was. And she was like, this, we could turn a book off this. I have an email.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then in 2010s, about when she was like, you know what? But in 2003, I have like this one. It was, I don't even remember what it was. It wasn't Pirates. It was one of the other ones.
Was it when I told you that I thought we could write a series based on Tolan, like all of Tolan's adventures?
No, actually, I think it was Oliver or Ian or Jamie. It was one of them.
Because they'll find it and make a T-shirt that says this. And
yes!
that will make it so obvious.
But it was, I think it was the other one. Because it went Pirates, and then it went Our Contemporary, and then it went, I'm fairly certain it was something to do with Jessie, because everything has to do with Jessie. We love her character.
All about Jessie. I get it.
She's an actress, so it has to be that way.
Oh,
yeah. With the golden retriever boyfriend.
Actual golden retriever or a boyfriend that acts like one? A
boyfriend that acts like one. That character might be the most golden retriever character I've ever written in my life.
I was looking for a little magic in your universe. Maybe, I just talked to Nick Smith with his cat Noir, so.
Don't worry, that Colette's got herself a pup.
Yeah, her boyfriend is a dog, so.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So many ways.
so do you guys find that you are, now that it's like become its own, but do you find that you are like fully into the romantasy idea?
I think it depends on the plot.
Okay.
And what we're trying to write.
I mean, in general, in your life, like your reading life, are you like, oh my God, there's Rebecca Yarros, I've got to read every word of this? Yeah. Well, it's a podcast. I was trying to get you to say it, but yes, behind Kate is the entirety of the romantasy field spread out behind her.
Somebody was saying the other day on Threads that romantasy was new, that we didn't have romance in fantasy books before, and that it was BS that it was invading now. And I went, what the heck is Princess Bride then?
Oh my God. Yeah. See, that's just it. When I first heard the term romantasy, it obviously existed because I knew exactly what books were romantasy. The second you heard the term, it's kind of, I mean, yeah, there's the hack and slash, but the romantasy is kind of.
Yeah, if you go, go ahead.
No, go.
I was going to say, like, if you go back and you think about some of the popular media that's been out, let's like look at movies, for example, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Mummy, The Princess Bride, for example. All of these things fall into romantasy because they have all the fantasy elements that you want, but romance is often one of the primary focuses. And so clearly it's existed. Same thing with Legend, same thing with The Labyrinth in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I think that the book world has a tendency to try and rebrand things and then act like it's something brand new. We saw this when the new adult argument arose several years ago.
Yeah. The one that I'm thinking of, because when I first read Lord of the Rings, the Sam and not Bilbo, I'm drawing such a blank. Frodo. That was very, even though they were not romantic, it was so romantic. Like to me, the connection there really spoke. You know, if that was written today, it may actually make them a couple. But that to me was very much romance.
I'm a historian. Like that was my professional background outside of writing. And there's a lot of things like that from the past that couldn't explicitly be called romantic or shown to be physically romantic for, Hays codes and whatever else that was out there at the time. But I mean, it's very obviously that. Yeah. Those undertones are there.
Oh, big time. And then when they made the movies, it's so obvious.
It's like I tell everybody, Lord of the Rings is still a romance. It's fantasy, but it's still a romance because you've still got Arwen, Eowyn, and Faramir. I can't say names right now. I can't talk. But you've got.
Hey, I couldn't think of Frodo, so you're okay.
And if you read the appendices, you get more of that romance in it. It's not the main plot. It's not the main point, but it's there. I prefer my books with romance. Does it have to be the main thing? No, but I do prefer romance.
Yeah, I think that readers are doing nervous if they don't look for the romance, because love is such a powerful thing, such a powerful emotion. The best horror often has romance embedded in it too. They're not calling it romance, but I mean, truthfully, if you look at the best things, I mean, there's the hack and slash, but then if you read the book Hack and Slash, there's romance built into that.
Yeah.
So I agree. Like, am I going down and reading a Hallmark type novel? It's not my thing. It's just not my thing. But boy, I like it when it's in my books.
I'm not a big fan of Hallmark movies at all because I can tell you exactly what's going to happen from start to finish. But give me a Hallmark book.
Yeah. What about Hard Eyes? Did you see Hard Eyes? There's horror with romance. I thought that was the best Hallmark movie I've ever seen.
Yes, that one was very good. I walked by, my mom was watching that. I stopped and went, wait, what? And then all of a sudden I was sitting down.
It was funny. Molly saw it. My daughter saw it in the theater, and she said, "You're going to love it, Dad. You're going to love it. But the ending sucks. You're not going to like the ending." So then we watch it together, and I'm sitting there like, I like the ending. She turns to me, she goes, "I don't know what I was thinking. That ending was awesome." I'm like, okay. It's funny how it hits you in the moment, but she's like, I so want to see what happens with these characters. That's where the romance.
Yeah.
When you care that much.
And you can just have friendship. You can. There's books that have amazing friendships.
Well, once again, Lord of the Rings. That is, I call it romance, but it is a friendship that is beyond. It's so great.
There's a lot.
I was going to say, I think the thing with like just relationships in general in these books, I think it's critical for the human moments, because you can get into series like ours, for example, where there is an ongoing, we've got to get you back on the throne, and that's going to mean going to war, and that's going to mean all of these hard things happen. And having that romance or having those deep relationships, it allows the characters to sit and just be human and have those connections that I think that we all strive to have, which is a big part of why a lot of people do read, is because they do want those human moments.
I agree.
Colette has a really good friend in Orion. And there's times where I do wonder, like, if she didn't have some of the support and the people around her, Wyladin, Laurent, even Tolan, if she'd have made it through. I mean, we see a part of that in book 3, where if she didn't have these people, I'm pretty sure she'd have just been like, no, I'm going to go find that farm now. Thanks. Bye. And Sabine has a really good, strong female friendship. Male ones too, obviously, but Farron doesn't like me to talk about one of them ever.
Okay, ever. Don't talk about it. So that brings up a question from as a writer. This is for each individual. Do your characters talk to you? Do they dictate where it's going? Like,
Oh yeah.
because I talk to a lot of writers. Some are plotters, some are pantsers, and some of them say, literally, I interviewed somebody recently. It's in this series of ink blots, who said they were towards the end of the book and something was not working. They were getting so frustrated, and then the one character literally talked to him and said, "I'm a female," and they went, "No, I've been writing," and they went back and they rewrote it as a female, and the entire thing worked. Do you get the characters talking to you? Yeah, I can see.
Can I point and explain this one? You mind?
Yes.
Okay. This book is the longest book in our series, Hope and Ashes, because we had it. We knew where we were going. We knew where it was ending. And then my character, Laurent, went, Colette's going to crash out, so we're now going to add like 30,000 words of a side quest. Those two characters we weren't going to introduce till like book 5. We're bringing them in now, so I suddenly had to learn who a couple people were very quickly, or the fact that this is technically a fan fiction of this.
Oh.
And these characters took on their own life, their own personality, their own everything. And sometimes I think Sabine tells Morgan to just beat Farron with a bat.
I think our characters talk to us and they direct what happens, because when we sat down and we said we're going to write this series, we envisioned 3 books, and then it was like, no, because we're going to go do all of these things you didn't anticipate. So now it's going to be 4 books, and then it turned in, now it's 5, and now it's 6.
8 plus, because you've got the offshoots and yeah. So do you actually hear them, or is it more? It's a weird question, but I actually had somebody say they actually kind of hear them talk to them.
I hear phrases in my head that are being spoken, and then I know that's got to go on a page.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a little while since we've done it because we've both been really busy with everything else, but there were times where Morgan would text me, but it would say Colette, and then I'd respond back as Laurent, and we'd just have whole conversations.
What a great way to do it, though.
Yeah. They did not make it into the book, but we just went with it.
They had to talk to each other.
Yeah. Like, he really wants to talk to her right now, but she's still mad at him. So, I literally sometimes I was trying to write something and he was like, no, go fix things with Colette for me. Come on. And I'm like, I need to write this. We're not there yet. And he's like, yes, we are. No, we're not.
Yeah.
She really wants to tell you how the book ends, and we're not going to let her.
Nope. But I'm just saying, sometimes the characters do something stupid, and if they're my characters, they bother me until it's fixed.
All right.
And he had no idea they were going to. It just happened.
Morgan requested a scene, so I wrote the scene. And then we both looked at the scene and went, oh, no.
Yep. 30,000 words later. Oh, boy.
Me saying they should kiss turned into a whole side quest in this book, let me just say. And I was joking, but it happened.
So you said that the Duchess series is like fanfic, okay, for Corellia. Am I saying that right? I always say it wrong. Corellia, right? Okay, good. Yes. Whew, I'm batting 1,000 today. This is about you guys. Are you fickers? There's a way to put it. Do you fanfic, or did you fanfic, or is it like, I mean, yeah, you played it in the RPG thing, but did you ever go like, I have to tell this story that's in the Twilight universe and I hate it, but I have to?
I'm pretty sure I still have WWF fanfiction on one of those websites out there.
WWF fanfiction.
Fanfiction.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's been a long time for me, but yes. In fact, Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon.
Yep.
All right. Look at she's thinking about it now. She's like, well, maybe I'll write a Sailor Moon tonight.
No, I'm thinking I should take those down.
I'm pretty sure I have Sailor Moon 2 and NSYNC. I know I have NSYNC.
Okay, Kate, hers is a lot more embarrassing. WWE, NSYNC. I mean, it's pretty embarrassing. So Sailor Moon, not so bad.
Pretty sure I've also got Dragon Ball, the 2009 sci-fi show Alice, and a few others.
Okay.
She has Pirates of the Caribbean fanfiction too.
Yeah, that too.
Calling her out. Yeah, and you know what? Even when I said the WWF is embarrassing, still not embarrassing. I love when people pick. I think it is so great because it shows that you like. it ignited something, and you've got a story to tell. I love it. I love it.
And I actually know a lot of authors who started as fan fiction writers who didn't turn their fan fiction into books. They didn't do that. There's been some fun stuff about that lately, but they slowly started making the characters original until they could. But I've had people who they don't think they could be writers, and I think anyone can. So, who said it's just easier for them, like with I don't know, let's just go with Baldur's Gate. You know the characters, you know who they are. Boom, let's go. I don't have to give you backstory. We're just going to jump right in. Because that's where they struggle with the backstory and the world building. And if they've already got that built,
why not? Why not? Yeah. I mean, if there's a fandom, there's a fanfic for it. That's what I encountered. And I didn't read a lot of it. I've read some, but I know that in my house there was a lot of reading. And I can also tell you in Four Horsemen, there is a serious amount of fanfickers that are in there. We had at PopCon last year, and maybe the year before, we did a fanfic panel, the Triforce of fan fiction. Val is all about the fanfic. She has a lot to say. So when you guys go to PopCon and you meet Morgan and Kate, go up to Val and harass her about fanfic. She won't think it's harassment. She'll get into a whole conversation with you about it. Yeah. So I think it's great. I mean, it's like a writer's playground. I think kids should be writing fanfic and learn the craft. Yeah. Why not? You know?
Well,
have fun.
I read a lot of fan fiction. I happen to very much like time travel fan fiction and can talk about it all the time. Pick a fandom. Somebody's written time travel fan fiction where they fix
guaranteed. It. Guaranteed. Yeah. Oh, I wish I could tell you the author. Speaking of time travel, I had a recommendation. I wanted to see if you guys had heard of this. I'm opening in my Amazon. I threw it in my cart so I'd find it. I know, what a nerd, right? Your stuff's in my cart too. Jodi Taylor. Have you ever read Jodi Taylor?
Yes.
Our friend is obsessed, and she talked the entire time. She's just over the other day, all about the time travel stuff, the time cops, all the stuff. And then afterwards, we surprised her. We went to Medieval Times, which is across the street from us. So she got her whole thing going. So yeah. And you know what? I'm sure she said she's published. She said, yeah, because I wrote Jodi Taylor fan fiction. She went to a thing and she got published in their thing. And it's like, it's awesome. I absolutely am in love with that. I think it's great. So your next book comes out. The release date is December 6th, correct? Or is there another Duchess before then?
All three of the Duchesses come out in August, September, and October.
Oh, rapid release. Fantastic. Fantastic. We deal with so many books, I forget. And I'm the one that should know, right? So great. August 16th is your first one, which is my anniversary. Very easy to remember. So Choice of Duchess, you can order it at fourhorsemenpublications.com. If you pre-order it, you get 15% off. So pre-order it there. And if you're a wholesaler, we have a wholesale direct button on there. So you can put it in your library, put it in your bookstore. But rapid release means you don't have to wait a year to read the next adventure. Bam, bam, bam. I love that. And then the next Corellia comes out. The 5th book, correct?
Yes.
And that is Restoration and Ruin.
It's a very dark book, so.
Even the cover is dark. All the other ones, I mean, I shouldn't say that. The first one is pretty stormy, but you've got reds and greens and blue, and then,
It's black.
When it says ruin, it's not usually going to be, this is the happy story. Not usual. Well, exciting. Guys, good luck at Indy PopCon. Once again, the link to get tickets to Indy PopCon is in the show notes. Follow Morgan and Kate. Where is the best place to interact with you guys?
Morgan Moreau writes on nearly every platform, so that's the best place.
Awesome. Kate?
I'm at Kate Jenkins writes at nearly every platform, but I'm mostly on TikTok.
Great. And people can interact with you, which is key to everything. And get their books when you go to PopCon. Buy the whole series. Get them to sign it. This is your big chance. This is the 4th PopCon, I think, that we've done, and you guys haven't been at one with us before. So
we do have something to tempt people who are considering it.
Let's hear it.
To have a couple of sets of the Duchess series available for buying at PopCon, so you don't have to wait until August to start.
Oh, wow. I am glad I didn't advertise that because I have a feeling you'll sell out very quickly. That's exciting. And you guys are doing panels too, aren't you?
We are. I'm moderating the Romantasy panel. So
good. Excellent. So once again, go see them, get things signed, buy all their books, tell them how lovely they are and how much fun they are, and encourage them to write some more fanfic about their characters from Corellia.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to add to this series.
There's more to come. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being on, and good luck with everything.
Take care.